Youth Guidance has provided comprehensive services to at-risk youth for over 87 years. The programs reach over 14,000 students in 70 schools throughout Chicagoland. In 2001, a unique program began evolving at Clemente High School. Tony DiVittorio, a youth guidance counselor, began developing a curriculum to combat the negative behaviors of his male students. Over the next 8 years, that curriculum developed into a weekly program that centered on the topic of men's work, stressing character-building traits like integrity, positive anger expression, and visionary goal setting. This program became known as BAM. By 2009, BAM had expanded to 15 schools and was the focus of a prestigious behavioral study by the University of Chicago's Crime Lab. Today, BAM continues to counsel and mentor hundreds of at-risk male youth each year, forever changing the lives and futures of young men once on the fast track to dropping out.
This is the part of the presentation that is the most obvious, which is we have a huge problem in Chicago with youth violence. And I don't have to tell anybody in this room.
The point is, I think we have some knowledge of whether our behavior is right or wrong. It's what we do with it. Man, you know, I just don't care. I'm gonna let this person have it today. I'm just in a mood. I'm not letting nobody get on me. The next person that say something to me, I'm going in. Has anybody ever felt like that?
Every day. Every day.
Yeah.
That normalization of the anger in that moment opens up that student and frees him to talk about it now and to be able to listen, maybe for the first time, a new way of dealing with it. But the thing that makes it work is the theory we use of expressing anger in a positive way.
So when somebody get in your face, how you react is a matter of habit. So if you had a habit of snapping off on your teachers because they come at you the wrong way, then you can make a habit of not snapping off on your teachers. And so one of the things we practiced last week was the deep breathing.
My personal belief is that there's no such thing as a bad kid. Like I don't know what a bad kid is, you know. Kids by their nature do certain things and they have certain issues that they're dealing with. And so, you know, to the extent that they actually have resources, you know, they can be affected in a different way. And a lot of these kids don't have the resources. So.
And that's the thing. The fight isn't won on fight night. The game isn't won on game day. It's all of them days and nights of practice and hard work before that. And graduating means doing all of the work every day. So your assignment is to think about, in the next week, your level of academic self-determination and what that's going to get you.
Everything that we do in the BAM program is connected towards academic engagement, becoming part of your school, becoming part of your studies, becoming part of the academic process.
Harper is a turnaround school. The environment, the neighborhood is pretty rough. It's pretty a gang neighborhood. You gotta be, you gotta be tough. You gotta be a tough kid. Hold on, hey, Anthony, don't manipulate the group. Hey, excuse me, don't be abusive, Anthony. Anthony, focus up, man. Every week I'm babysitting you. You think they just passed you because you're on the basketball team or what? What's the deal?
Did I say that?
I'm asking.
No, I ain't in a group, man. Bitch ass.
You're done. See this guy right here? No, I like you, but I had enough already. So I'm asking you not to come back to the group. I don't want you to be a part of the group no more because everything's a joke to you.
You know, we have a sense of identity that has to be nurtured through seeing other men. And so, you know, when young men have an opportunity to see role models, that's what they cling to.
Thank you for having the integrity to come and talk to me.
Let's rock this beat, Pookie. Let's go, Yavin Boosie.
That's the reality of BAM. And, you know, we could go to schools that are doing well already. That's not what our program is about. It's going to places where we know these kids are falling by the wayside and stabilizing them first, getting them back motivated about their futures, about their education, and then watching those change happen over time.
What about some examples in your neighborhood? You got a father, uncle, somebody in the neighborhood that you thought was a man? Anybody that you thought was a stand-up person? Nobody? So you had no good example of a man? Your dad died, and then everybody in your neighborhood is gangbangers.
DJ, he a cool guy. You know, he laid back.
So why do you come every week?
Because it's interesting.
Kente, he's a moody guy. He's up and down. You know, you have to just kind of like see what mood he's in before you approach him. I mean,
I'm a gangster.
He spends a lot of time in the office with me. He was in the office with me all day today. Like he just hangs around me, so I'm sure he's looking to me as a father figure. Anybody else? What about you, Kente? How'd you make it through? And who did you lose, and how'd you make it through?
I lost my daddy. He was going to Wisconsin, and when he crossed the borderline, it was like cars. I guess they was waiting on him. And when he crossed it, they blocked him off, and they shot his car. They shot him 12 times.
So and this all happened when, a year ago, a couple years ago?
They stay after the first or second or third session because they realize that when they come to the program, safety and confidentiality and respect are mandated.
The one I mainly like is the tennis balls because, you know, we actually have to work together to, you know what I'm saying, actually get the ball around to everybody. And, you know what I'm saying, it was hard at first, but when we caught on to it, we actually liked it.
Seen him be more open. He let his guards down a little bit more. I mean, usually it's like balled up face and, you know, yeah, Kente, how you doing? I'm all right. I'm all right. And then now, you know, he's more say, hey, how you doing? You know, what's going on? Like, he's asking me, like, how's your family? What's going on with your children? How was your weekend? It's self-evident. I mean, they don't have fathers in their communities, you know, like when we did the group that time, you know, out of all those guys, only 2 or 3 guys had fathers that were present in their life. They don't have positive male role models who spend time with them, you know. These guys are just raising themselves. He's not in your life? When was the last time he was in your life?
When I was 8.
When you was 8? So you got an older brother?
He in my life.
Your dad's not in your life? When was the last time you saw him?
Never.
It's not funny. So in a minute, you're gonna have to define yourself. Y'all know what that means? Define? You're gonna have to make yourself up how you wanna be. So you gotta think about the role models that you've seen in the past and the current relationship, the relationship that you have right now with your father. So if you don't have a relationship, you gotta make sure that that's not how you wanna be in the future.
Boy comes to the group and he's learning about accountability. He's learning about responsibilities. And then you combine that with after-school sports programs, Olympic sports programs, you're able to reinforce those BAM values with another mentor.
My name is Vincent Rosado. I did come from the BAM program.
At the time I was a freshman, I was kind of a lost cause a little bit, you know, because I grew up in an environment of drugs and alcohol and abuse and gangs.
One of the things I tried to help him to see was that even though he was justified for feeling the way he was feeling in class, maybe he had a right to feel that way he was expressing himself was not getting him what he wanted. It was getting him negative stuff. It was getting him to detention.
I'd come get him out of suspension and we'd talk, and we spent the next 3 years basically doing BAM work that we do.
Yeah, I love this guy because he understands what it takes to fight through those emotions. He understands what it takes to fight through those obstacles. And to have somebody in your life that understands those things is a plus, because you're never gonna stop having those things in your life. You're never gonna stop having obstacles.
When Vinny calls me and we're talking, it's a flip of the script. And Vinny will say, how you doing, man? What's going on? You know, and I'll sit there and I'll say, man, this is going on. I'm struggling with this. And he mentors me.
A lot of times at this age, you feel like you need to do something to prove that you're worthy, to prove that you're better than maybe your friend next to you or somebody in your classroom. When the truth is, you only have to prove it to yourself.
I mean, his mother is a solid rock for him, you know, and a big tribute to the character that you see here today, you know.
She's my heart.
Yeah. So
she is. She's done so much for me. To have a mother's will, to take the role of the father and the mother, you know, because that's basically what she did. You know, she became the father and the mother, you know, to give me that strength when I needed it, but also give me that sensitivity. If I didn't forgive my father for everything he did in my life, there's no way I could be the person that I am now or the person that I will be 10 years from now. But the thing that you guys gotta understand is that all those things are put there for a reason. You know, it's not your fault. It's not your fault that they're there. You know, it's more just to see, it's to test you, to see how much you can gain through struggle, how much you can grow through obstacles in your way.
through this theory, through the drills, what I call portables, the role plays, the check-ins, through the counseling, through the homework assignments, I start to see a lot of change. We start to see a lot of change.